Hello everybody. In this lecture I'm going to discuss assignment number 5 for the Programming Language Concepts course. Now I have a really huge rewrite for this for you, or alternative assignment. You can do the assignment as is if you wish, but I don't know anyone who's going to want to. But let me explain the as is first. But before I do that, actually let me switch the order. Before I explain the as is, let me give you the alternative assignment. So the idea here is to explore the concepts of object orientation, and for this week there's a lecture on object orientation with Java, and it's kind of an introduction to Java for those people who have not worked with Java yet, but it really goes through the differences between procedural programming and object-oriented programming. And the lecture is designed to give you an overview of object orientation. So for assignment number 5, you can follow the assignment as it's written, or you can do this alternative assignment that I'm telling you about right now. The alternative assignment is to write the same program twice in 2 different object-oriented languages. So you would have, you've all taken a course in object orientation. You probably took it in C++. You may have taken it in Python, or maybe you took it in Java. But in any case, you wrote a program that contained an object. Hopefully you did. So take that object-oriented program that you wrote that contains at least one object. Let's say maybe it was a Fahrenheit to Celsius program, like a temperature conversion program or something, or maybe it was a calculator or something. Who knows what it was? Whatever theme it was, rewrite that same program in another object-oriented language. So you'd have the same program written twice in 2 different object-oriented languages. So you could do like Python and C++, or C++ and Java, or Java and C++, or Java and Python, or Java and Objective-C, or C#, or any programming language that you know that's object-oriented. So you're going to write the same program twice in 2 different object-oriented programs, and then all you have to do, programming languages, and then all you have to do is send me the 2 files. So if it was temperature.java and temperature.py, or temperature.c++, or whatever it is, you can recycle a program that you wrote before for a previous class, or you can just write the same program twice if you want. So that is the better assignment, easier assignment. And definitely more doable than this assignment. This assignment that is written, that I'm going to go over right now, is pretty entailed. You do not have to do it. Again, just give me one program, one themed program written in 2 different languages. Make sure that the 2 different languages that you're using, in both languages, you're creating an object. So the idea is you need to create an object. And so the object in C++, or an object in Java, or an object in Python, and you're going to just demonstrate that you know how to write the same program using an object-oriented approach in 2 different object-oriented programming languages. There's no documentation to send me. You just email me the 2 source code files, and then that's your alternative assignment. That counts for assignment number 5. You do not have to do assignment number 5 as it's written here. So for those people who want to take option number 2 and actually do assignment number 5, if you're bored and you're looking to challenge yourself, here we go. So the objective is to compare the following Java and C++ in regards to text file I/O, support for data abstraction, class libraries, random number generator. There's a lot of stuff in here. Operator overloading. Yikes. So really what you're doing is you're writing the second stage of the compilation process. You're going to create a random sentence generator. And if you read through the description, I'll let you read through that on your own. You're going to create random sentences using a grammar. So here's an example of a simple grammar, and it has a start, an object, a verb, an adverb. It has different grammar defined, and what you're going to do is, instead of reading, the second stage of compilation takes the tokens and it reads them, and it generates a string in the language that is equivalent, and it matches up the grammar so it could produce a parse tree to represent the line of code that you've written. So here we're going to take symbols in the language or tokens or words, use a grammar, and then do the opposite. Instead of writing something and recognizing it, we're going to generate something. So you're going to generate a sentence using the vocabulary and the grammar. So it's very similar to the second stage, but there's a little twist on it. And so when you're doing it, you would design your program in both Java and C++. And here's some features that you would put into the class. You'd have a constructor that passes the name of the file containing the grammar rules. You'd have a method called random sentence, which generates the random sentences given the vocabulary and given the grammar rules. In Java, you would have a toString. In C++, you'd have to overload the cout operator. You'd also have to create a destructor in C++. Java doesn't have one. So you would be using Java and you'd be using C++. You'd be reading in a file that contained the grammar, and then you would be expanding on it and creating sentences, generating excuses. So the input takes one command line argument, which is the name of the grammar file to read, and the output produces sentences. So it should print the grammar rules and then 3 random sentences from the grammar and then exit. So it's a command line prompt. So a simple grammar or parser for the grammar is located at this address. Actually, this address isn't going to work. It is in the examples folder. This changed. I'm using Borg now, so this is not the same. But if you're crazy enough to do this assignment, go for it if you want to. Read through it at a slower pace. Send me email messages if you have questions about it. I personally wouldn't do it. And really only the students who are listening to this video are going to know that there's a different assignment to do. So this video is two-purposed. One, to see, are you guys actually watching the videos and listening to what I'm saying? Or are you just blowing it off? And if you are listening, this is your value add. You get a different assignment. You don't have to do this assignment. Your assignment, if you choose to take on the assignment, which I hope you do, just write the same program in 2 different languages and send me an email message with the assignment submission with just your 2 source code files. You don't have to document anything. You don't have to say anything. When you send it to me, I'm going to know exactly what you're sending me. Just put assignment number 5 on it. You can follow the same submission format on the bottom here. And I will edit this file and re-upload it so that it has the correct URL for the sample down here. Grammar still exists, but the URL is different. I will edit that. So by the time you look at the file, and for those people who are not listening to me and during this video, they're going to look at this. I'm going to do this assignment as is probably. But send me the source code and put assignment number 5 on the subject line, just as if you were doing this assignment, but just attach your 2 source code files, one in one language, the other in the other language. Now do something a little bit above Hello World. Hello World is a little too simple for this. It doesn't have to be a complicated program. It can be a program that just has one object in it, and you can have multiples if you want. But the minimum is one object. So if you're doing a C++, you have to have 1 class. If you're doing Java, 1 class. You'll definitely have 1 class with Java because that's all you can do in Java or Python or whatever language you're doing. 1 class object. You don't have to have a big driver program. In fact, you don't even have to send me the driver. Just send me the 2 classes. Write a class in C++ and then write a class in Java and send it to me, and you're all done with this assignment. So if you do have any questions, please send me an email. Otherwise, I hope you understand what I'm saying. Don't do this assignment unless you want to challenge yourself. And if you do want to challenge yourself, it's pretty cool. It's sort of like an AI assignment. You're just going to take a grammar and apply it with some vocabulary words and create some random sentence. So it's a random sentence generator that you're creating. And if you are doing this assignment, you can make some minor changes to it if you want, or you can actually do the second stage of compilation if you want and take your assignment number 1, which was the first stage of compilation, and then write a grammar, which probably write a simple grammar if you want, and then recognize and create the parse trees if you wanted to, but that's a lot of work and I don't know if I would do that. So thanks for watching the video, and I hope if you do have questions that you will ask me, and I look forward to seeing your assignment number 5s. Now assignment number 5, let's just see when it's due actually. Probably should have downloaded this at the beginning, but let's just take a look here. We are ahead of schedule, which is why we have kind of a light week this week. But assignment number 5 is due, wow, 4/15, way down the road. So this week that we're coming up on is the 23rd week, which we have the prologue assignment. Last week I lectured on prologue, so you have that information already. This week the prologue is due, then we have a spring break, and then we come back, and the object-oriented program isn't due until 4/15. So we've got lots of time to work on this one. And then the last 2 assignments are pretty easy. These guys are just answering 5 questions each. And so after the spring break on Monday the 6th, I'm going to be lecturing on chapter number 6. So 6, 7, and 8 is what's coming up next. And that's the last. So if you're looking for something to do over the spring break, I would read chapters 5, 6, 7, and 8. 5 we've covered already. 6, 7, and 8 are the last 3 chapters of the book that we will cover by the end of April. We have another month left. So we got plenty of time. We're way ahead of schedule. So that's the story. And I hope you have a good spring break. And I will look forward to giving you another lecture on Monday the 6th. And maybe we'll be back in the in-class class, but who knows? We'll see when that happens. Okay. So thanks for watching.